Okay, I think I have record. Okay, before I continue, uh, I please switch off your mic if you have no question. But if you have any question, you can ask any question during the lecture time. If you have a question, just turn on your question and ask your question clearly. And then please inform me if my audio or visual are unclear. And then I hope you can pay your attention in this class, and the attendance will be recorded automatically by you team. And then please make sure you are still online with me until the end of this class today. Okay, I hope I can finish this class before 5 p.m. Okay, for today, I will explain about the simple and compound interest. Basically, the instrument like saving and investment usually will give a return based on the dividend or bonus rate for the certain period, normally for 1 year. Meanwhile, the uh, personal loan, car loan, housing loan will involve the repayment of the loan together with the cost of loan. The cost of loan is normally known as a loan interest rate. Therefore, the rate of the interest rate are the cost of borrowing, or therefore, the interest rate, we can consider the interest rate as a cost of borrowing or for loan, the cost for the loan, or return for saving and investment. And then this rate, the interest rate is normally expressed as a percentage percent of the amount borrowed or invested based on the specific period of time, normally for 1 year. So for this topic, we focus more on the interest rate, the ordinary interest rate or simple interest rate, and then the second one is about the compound interest rate. I will explain to you what is the ordinary interest rate and the compound interest rate. Okay, and then the concept of compound will be used later to describe the other concepts such as effective rate, future value of money, present value, and the net present value. Okay, let's start with the simple interest rate. What does it mean by the simple interest rate? Or kadar faedah biasa. Kadar faedah biasa or kadar faedah mudah. Okay, simple interest rate, kadar faedah mudah or simple interest rate are also known as a ordinary interest rate. In the context of saving and investment, the simple interest rate is calculated based on the amount of saving or the original amount of investment, or the original amount of investment is also known as a principal. The interest rate is calculated based on the principal value. And then for loan, for example, the interest rate is calculated based on the original loan amount. The original loan, original saving, original amount of investment is we can combine all these terms in a principle. That's why the calculation of the simple interest rate, the simple interest rate can be calculated but based on the following formula. You can refer formula 2.1. There is I equal to P times R, I equal to P times R times T, PRT, I equal to P, PRT, where I is a total amount of simple interest, the amount of interest, P is principal, R is a simple interest rate, and T is time period, usually calculated based on as a number of year. And then the sum between the principal value and the amount of simple interest rate equal to the accumulated amount. That is A, where A equal to P plus I. Now, what is a P? Principal plus I is equal to total amount of interest rate. In general, we can say that A also equal to P times 1 plus RT. Okay, that's basically in this page. There are two formula here, formula 2.1 and formula 2.2. Formula 2.1 is about the amount of simple interest, and then the formula 2.2 is for accumulated amount, the principal plus the normal interest rate, ordinary interest rate. Okay, for example, let's say, please refer to example 2.1. Assume that you save 500 ringgit at the beginning of the year in a bank. The saving provide a return on dividend every year, and then the dividend is calculated based on the simple interest rate 3% per annum. Okay, in this case, we assume you deposit 500 ringgit at the beginning of year, maybe of year 2026 in a bank, in a saving account, bank saving account. The saving account provide a return. We assume that the return every month you will receive the return of as much as 3%. That is calculated per 3% per year, and the calculation is based on the simple interest rate. But now I will show you how to calculate the interest based on the simple interest. Okay, please refer to page 1 and page 2. Okay. Let's say, for example, the principal amount P equal to 500 ringgit. The nominal interest rate is the interest rate is equal to 3%. 3% or 0.03. This is a simple interest rate. This rate is calculated based on the simple interest rate method. Simple interest rate. Okay, let's say at the beginning of year 20 at the beginning of year 2026, you invest or you save 500 ringgit. That we call it at maybe early of year 1. Early of year 1. You deposit your deposit amount, that is 500 ringgit. The interest rate is 0.03. Normally the interest rate is calculated every end of year, maybe end of year 1, end of year 2, and so on. So assume that you save your money, you save your saving, you save your money in a deposit you deposit your saving in a saving account bank. Anda simpan wang sebanyak 500 pada awal tahun pertama. At the end of year 1, after 1 year, at the end of year 1 or at the end of or early of year 2, end of year 1, maybe end of December this year, you will receive the bank will pay you dividend 3% per year. This 3% is based on the principal, the original principal. The original principal is 500. Let's say in this case, 0.03 divided by 500. 0.03 divided by 500. So at the end of year 1, you will receive the amount of interest rate is equal to 50 ringgit, for example. So there's the number of dividend that you receive in a bank for year 1. So this calculation amount can be calculated based on this formula. I equal to P R T. In this case, the P is 500, R 0.03, T number of year 1. So the answer is 50. That happened for simple interest rate. The interest rate is calculated based on the original deposit. So let's say now assume that we want to know what happened at year 2. Okay, at year 2, you will receive the your total deposit. Your total deposit now you have 500 plus 50. The interest rate that you receive at the end of year 1. So assume that you will we assume that all the principal and deposit still continue in the saving account, but at the end of year 2, At the end of year 2, assume that the interest rate is fixed at 3%. Bank will pay you the same amount, the 3% of the based on the original principal. So although your amount is 550 at the early of year 2, but based on the simple interest rate, the 3% is calculated based on the original principal. That is 500. You still receive 50%. 50 ringgit for the year 2. So at early of year 3, your total saving now becomes 550 plus 50 is 530. And then this process continue. For example, let's say we assume that at early of year 3, you still deposit your money until the end of year 3. Now, at the end of year 3, your total dividend is 0.03 times 500. Based on the original principal, you receive the same amount, 50 ringgit. So at early of year 4, your total amount is 500. Your total saving now, your total saving now is 545. 545 ringgit. Okay, and then this process continue until, let's say, until end of year 4, 5, and so on. So that's how simple interest rate works. In other words, the simple interest rate is calculated based on the original principal. That's only on the interest rate is calculated based on the original principal. Kadar faedah dikira ke atas nilai principal yang asal. Tidak melibatkan. It's not the calculation is not based on the there is no interest. The previous interest is not calculated for the future interest. That is for the what we call it as the simple interest rate. So based on the formula for interest rate, if you can see on page 2, we can say that I equal to P RT and A equal to P1 plus R times T. So now it's P equal to 500, R equal to 0.03. Now we can assume, we can forecast, we can project, we can estimate the amount of money after, let's say, after 10 years, what happened to your deposit? For today, let's say today, your deposit, your money 500 ringgit. Let's say for 10 years, with the dividend of 0.03, after 10 years, you can see that your dividend is, you need to calculate this. There is 1 plus 500 times 1 plus 0.03 times 10. And then total amount of money is 650. At the end of year 10, your total saving now is equal to 650. That is the accumulated amount after 10 years. And then, so how much interest do you receive for 10 years? So I equal to PRT. So this is 500 times 0.03 times 10. For 10 years, the answer is 100 and 150. Okay, this amount is also equal to A minus P, where A is 650 minus 100 minus 500 equal to 100 and 150. That's how to calculate the simple interest rate based on the formula 2.1 and 2.2. That's all about the simple interest rate. Kadar faedah biasa. Kadar faedah mudah. So in conclusion, we can conclude here that the simple interest rate refer to the simple interest rate is a rate that calculated based on the original principal, or the original amount of money or original amount of loan. That's the That's all about the section 2.2, the simple interest rate. Okay, the second one is about the compound interest rate, section 2.2. Compound interest rate. Compound interest rate. So compound interest rate is the interest on saving or on loan and whatever, or on investment, saving, and so on. That is interest. This compound interest refer to the interest that calculated based on the initial principal fee and also the accumulated interest that uh, uh, accumulated interest from the previous period. In other words, there is interest on interest, or the power of or we call it as the power of compound interest. The power of compound interest will make the sum grow faster than the simple interest, which is calculated only on the principal amount. Okay, that's the difference between the compound and simple interest. The simple interest only involve calculation on the principal value only. Meanwhile, the compound interest involve the calculation on the principal plus the accumulated interest. So, this compound interest can be used in the context of saving, investment, and loan. Now, I will show you the calculation of the compound interest based on the example 2.1. Okay, there is the example 2.1. Okay, example 2.1, the summary of example 2.1, the calculation of simple interest of 3% per annum, where P, the principal, is 500. As you can see here, with dividend 3% per annum, and then the dividend is calculated based on the simple interest. You can see here, the amount of dividend is fixed at 50 ringgit, because in this case, the dividend is 3% per year, is 3% from the original amount of P, original amount of principal. That's why 3% every year. Every year you will receive 50 ringgit. So for 5 years, the total dividend is 75. And then at the beginning of year 6, or at the end of year 5, the total accumulated saving now is 575. That's based on the simple interest. But now I will show you the calculation based on compound interest. The compound interest, let's say we assume that we still have the same principal. The principal is fixed as 500. The dividend is still 3%, 0.03. But now dividend is compound interest. Dividend 3% per annum, compounded every year. Compounded means there is the dividend is calculated based on the principal plus the accumulated dividend, but with condition that all the amount, the principal plus the dividend is still in the saving account. That the what we call it as a compound interest. For example, let's say please refer to table 2.2. Let's say we have 500 ringgit at the beginning of the year, of year 1. So for the first year, at the end of year 1, the total dividend is 500 times 0.03 is 50 ringgit. So at the beginning of year 2, at the early of year 2, the total saving now become 500 plus 50, that is 550. That is your total saving. Now, let's say assume that you still deposit this amount will not taken out from the bank. You will not withdraw the amount. The deposit, the principal and the interest is still in the account bank for the whole of year 2. So at the end of year 2, bank will pay you same amount of same interest rate of dividend. Let's say 3% per annum, but now compounded. The bank the calculation is based on the compound interest. What does it mean? Okay, now at the end of year 2, the 3% is calculated based on 550, not 500 only. 550, there is two amount here. the principal and also the interest. The principal is 500, the interest is 50 ringgit. So 3% now is calculated based on 515. Now the total dividend for the year 2 is 50 ringgit and 45 cents. So at the beginning, at the early of year 3, the total amount of your saving now is become 550 plus 50 ringgit and 45 cents. So at the year 3, the total dividend is 530 and 45 cents. Okay, this process continue in year 3. At the end of year 3, the 3% now is calculated based on the 530 and 45 cents. That is the total principal 500 and total dividend that you receive for 2 years, 30 ringgit and 45 cents. Now at the end of year 3, the total dividend 591. And this process continue until for example, at the end of year 3, year 5. So we can conclude here at the end of year 5 or at the beginning of year 6. After 5th year, after year 5, your total saving was 579 and 30 and 63. So that is clearly you can see the difference between the amount of dividend received using ordinary and compound interest. Okay, in this case, after year 5, based on the compound interest, the total saving is 575, which is the total dividend is 79 ringgit and 63. Meanwhile, if you compare to the simple interest rate, the total dividend is only 775 ringgit, and the total amount of saving is 575. So basically, the amount of total compound interest is greater than the amount of simple interest. So if you can see here, therefore we can conclude here, if 500 ringgit is kept of 5 years with dividend 3% compounded annually, then after 5 years, the value of 500 increased to the 579 and 63. Now we can also say that here the 500, the amount of money after year 5 is also known as the future value of saving. Nilai hadapan bagi simpanan. Future value is nilai hadapan. So the future value is based on the principal current interest rate and how the interest rate is calculated, whether by using the simple interest rate or compounded interest rate. So there is one concept here, the future value. What is a future value? Future value is the value of a current asset at a future date based on assumed rate of growth. We need to know what is the interest rate, the rate of growth, and then the future value is also important for investor and financial planner, as they use it to estimate how much an investment made today will be worth in the future. Okay, by using this concept, we will estimate, we can forecast our return, our amount of money based on the current principal and also the current return or dividend. So in general, in summary, we can summarize this concept based the calculation of future value of money. The calculation of future value of money by using the compound interest can be done using the following, using this formula 2.3. S equal to P times 1 plus R to the power of N. Okay, that is a very important formula. Okay, this formula is also known as a future value of money, S. We use S for the future value of money. P is principal, R is nominal interest rate for a year, N is a time period, normally number of years. So the difference between the future value and the principal is also known as the compounded interest. S minus P, S the future value of money divide minus the principal value is known as a compounded interest. So if you refer back to our example 2.2, you refer to example 2.2, we have this amount. Okay, this amount is equal to, based on the future value formula, this equal to 500, 1 plus interest rate 0.03 for 5 years to the power of 5. We just put power of 5. The answer is equal 579 and 63. That's a concept. That's it about the compound interest. So so if okay, the next one, okay, there is another example here, example 2.3. Okay. Okay, please refer to example 2.3. Suppose you invest, let's say, which one? Okay, suppose you invest 10,000 in a unit trust share that pay dividend of 10% compounded annually. Okay, let's say I will show you. You can refer to example 2.3. There is a question and answer. I will show you how to find the answer. Okay, please refer to example 2.3. Let's say page which this is page 4. 2.3 page 4. Suppose you invest 10,000. You have 10,000 ringgit Malaysia. You invest in a in a unit trust. That is considered as P, the principal, the original amount of your investment. Okay, this unit trust pay a dividend of 10%. 10% compounded annually. Compounded means that what is compounded? Compounded means the dividend is calculated based on it's compounded annually. ANNUALLY is compounded annually. Compounded annually meaning that the interest rate is calculated once time per year, every year, but the calculation is based on the principal plus the previous dividend received that you receive every year. That's why the compounded annually. So based on this formula, we know the future value of money S equal to P times 1 plus R n to the power of n. Now we would like to know how much is your investment at the end of year 6. After 6 years, what happened to your investment? If interest rate, the dividend is 10% compounded annually. So the future value after 6 years, the total amount of the total saving is equal to 10,000 1 plus 0.10 to the power of number of year is 6 after 6 years. So the answer is, in this case, you need your calculator. Please use your calculator to find the answer. The answer is, if we go to page 4, the answer is after year 6, at the end of year 6, your investment now go to 70,750 ringgit and 61 cent. That's the future value of your investment after year 6, based on the dividend. Based on the dividend of 10%. Okay. The next one, B. Okay, let's say what is the total amount of dividend you earn during for the 10 years? Total amount of dividend is I equal to S minus P. Okay, that is equal to the future value 17715.61 minus 10,000. This equal to 7,700 750 ringgit and 61 cent. That's how to calculate the total amount of dividend that you received for 10 years. So let's say in what year? Let's say you want to your target is you wish to have money as much as 20K. Today you have 10,000 ringgit. You invest in that unit trust with 10% dividend per year. How in what year did did the investment value will increase to 20,000? How long you have to wait in order to receive 20 20 what we call it 20K 20,000. Okay, that's 20,000 is a future value of money. The present value of money is 10K. So we can conclude here 20K is S is equal to S equal to P 10,000. 1 plus 0.10 10% per year. But now we need to define what is N. What is N number? The value of N, the number of year. The value of N, the number of year. Okay, so based on this formula, we know that this is equal to 20,000 divided by 10,000 equal to 1.1 to the power of N. So 1.1 to the power of N equal to. Okay, now we need to know N. N is N is a power that belong to 1.1. So we need to know N. Okay, in this case, what is N? Now we need to convert all the equation into the log, into the exponent. Into the log. Into log. Please refer to page 1. So topic 1. We have a topic for exponent and log. So in this case, you need to take log for the whole equation. For example, now I will use what we call it a natural log. Natural log, that is ln. So this is equal to ln 2 equal to ln 1.1 to the power of n. Okay, if you refer to the rule of exponent, rule of log, ln 1.1 to the power of n, we can take this power and we can put this power in front of the equation. So this is equal to ln 2 equal to n ln 1.1. 1.1. So what is n? N equal to 1 ln 1.2 divided by ln 1.1. And then for this, you can use your calculator. You will get the answer is 7.27. 7.27. That is the n, the number of years. So basically, the answer is 7. You need to wait until the end of year 7 to in order to get the total amount of your saving increase to the 20%. In other words, in order to get the 100% return, you need to wait for 7 years. You need to save to invest for 7 years. At the end of year 7, your investment will increase by 100% from 10K to 20K. That's how to find the answer for this question. Okay, any questions so far? Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Any question?
No, doctor.
No question.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next one is about the so yeah. Okay, the next one is about the number of compound in a year. Okay, that's very interesting. When we're talking about the compound interest, when we're talking about the compound interest, we need to identify the number of compound in 1 year. That is M. The number of compound in 1 year, that is the value of M. Okay, basically if you refer to formula 2.3, basically the formula 2.3 is calculated based on the assumption of the interest rate is compounded or calculated once in each year. Normally, we assume that the interest rate is calculated once time per year, only at the end of every year, year 1, year 2, and so on. But in practice, there is a compound that of interest that there is compound interest that is calculated more than once time per year. That we can the number of compound interest, the number of time the number of compound interest, how many times the interest rate is calculated for 1 year. Normally, we can say that the number of compound in a year, or M, can be divided into this six category, six times. The first one is the interest rate is compounded annually, meaning that the interest rate is compounded once times per year. The calculator is compounded 1 times per year. Every 12 months, once a year, for M equal to 1. M is number of compound. Okay. Or the second one, the interest rate can be calculated twice a year, every 6 months, for M equal to, or we call it as a semi-annually. That's we call it as a semi-annually. That when M equal to. The third one is quarterly. The compound interest, the interest rate can be compounded quarterly. The interest rate can be calculated 4 times per year, every quarter. Maybe end of March, end of June, end of September, and end of December. That's how the number of where M equal 4. In this case, M equal 4. That is for quarterly. And then the interest rate could be also calculated based on monthly basis, or monthly, every month, once a month, 12 times per year. M equal 12. Or also weekly refer to we assume that there is 52 weeks in a year. So we assume that every week refer to where M equals 52. The interest rate is calculated 52 times a year. The interest rate is calculated every week. That means the interest rate is calculated every week. And then the last one, the interest rate is calculated daily, every day. We assume that there is 365 days per year. So meaning that the interest rate is calculated 365 times per year, every day. Maybe normally end of day, or end of day 1, day 2, day 3, and so on. That's the number of compound here. You need to remember this. The number of compound, whether once time per year, M equal 1, 2 times per year, every 6 months, 4 times per year, quarterly, 12 times per year, monthly, 52 times per year, weekly, 365 times per year, daily basis. That the number of compound. So therefore, formula for the previous formula, that is S equal to P 1 plus R over M divide 1 plus R to the power of N. 1 plus R to the power of N can be modified into formula 2.6. Now we take into account the number of compound. We don't know. We need to know the number of m. So the formula now become to S equal to P 1 plus R over m. The number of interest R, interest rate is nominal interest rate now. The R is nominal interest rate divide by m to the power of n. Divide by m and to the power of n. So the nominal interest rate must be divided by m, the number of m, and then we have t number of year. Now we have m number of compound. Whether m equal 1, 2, 4, 52, 12, and so on. Now we have n equal to m times t, number of compound times number of year. In other words, if the interest rate is calculated 4 times per year, for 10 years, the number of compound is 40 times. 4 times 10 equal to 40. So now we need also know the number of compound for the whole year. Maybe depend on the value of t. So that's why we need to calculate n equal to m times t. The different value of m will affect the future value of money, as shown by the following example. I will show you the example. Let's say, please refer to example 2.4. Okay, please refer to example 2.4. In this example, I will show you the effect of m. The different value of m will produce the different value of the future future value of money. So in this case, we assume that the t equal 3, p equal 1,000. We assume that 1,000 is invested in the investment scheme for 3 years with the interest rate 8%. This R 0.06 per annum compounded. Okay, now I will show you the number of compound. I will show you the different value of m. I will change the value of n to show you the impact of m on the future value of money. Okay, please refer to page page 5, 7, 5, 7, and 5, 7, 5 and 7. 5 and 6. 5 and 6. Okay, 5 and 6. I will show you the impact of the m. How the different value of m will affect the future value of money. Okay, now I will show you the calculation again. Let's see, again p equal to 1,000. Let's see, for example 2.4, p equal to 1,000, and then m, we need m is different. So for 3 years, t equal 3, now 3 years, and then the interest rate, nominal interest rate R equal to 8% per annum, compounded, okay, per annum, 8% per annum. But let's say we assume that the interest rate is compounded annually. Or m equal 1 in this case, annually, or m equal 1. Okay, so the formula is S equal to P 1 plus R over m to the power of n. Okay, in this case we have m equal 1, t equal 3, r equal to 0.08. Okay, in this case n equal to m times t, where m equals 1, t equal 3, so n also equal 3. So based on the example, this is equal to p 1,000, 1 plus 0.08 divided by 3 to the power of n, where n equal 3 for this case. Sorry, m equal 1. In this case, m equal 1. Then you can see, if you refer to page 5, the answer is after 3 years, your total saving now increased to the future value of 10,000 equal to 125, 1,259 and 71 cents. Okay, this based on the m equal 1. Now I will change the m. the value of M, value for M. Now let's say for semi-annually. Semi-annually means that the interest rate is calculated twice a year or every 6 months. Every 6 months. So in this case, M equal 2. So what happened? How about the future value? S equal to P 1000. 1 plus R 0.08 still fixed. But now we need to divide by 2. So what is N? N is M times T. M equal to T equal 3. Number of years is 3. If the interest rate is calculated 2 times per year, for 3 years, the total amount of interest rate that being calculated is equal to 6. But the answer is 6. So to the power of 6, I hope you can please calculate this formula to make sure you know how to calculate the compound interest. So you will get the answer is now equal to 1065 and 32. Is slightly higher than the previous one. Okay, same goes to the when I change to the let's say monthly. The interest rate is paid every month. So M equal 12 and M 12 times 3 years equal to 36. So the future value of money S equal to 1000 divided by times 1 plus 0.08, the nominal interest rate, divided by 12, because M equal 12 to the number of 36. The interest rate is calculated 12 times per year. For 3 years, the interest rate is calculated 36. 12 times 3, 36. Now you will see that the interest rate now, the total saving now increased to 1070 ringgit and 24 cents. So in conclusion, we can see here, as you can refer to page for this example. Okay, this one. Okay, the example A, M equal 1. That's the future value of money, 1259. And then when M equal quarterly, M equal 4, the future of money also increase. Now we have a daily, M equal 12. The interest rate now increase. Monthly, weekly, the interest rate is also increased. And the last one is daily, M equal to 355. 365, the future value of 1000 now become to 1079 ringgit. That's how we can apply the future value of money based on the value of M. So as you can see here, if you refer to table 2.3, this table summarizes the calculation of the future value based on the example 2.4. Now we assume that P is fixed at 1000. The interest rate is fixed at 8% per annum. But now I change the value of M. 1, 2, 4, 12, 52, and 365, which is M equal 1. The interest rate is the nominal interest rate is calculated monthly, every 6 months, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, daily, monthly, weekly, or daily. That's the table 2.3 show that the formula is, okay, this is the formula. I hope you can remember this formula. S equal to P 1 plus R divided by M to the power of N. As you can see here, the number of compound have an impact on the future value, of money. Because as you can see here, if you change the value of M, the interest rate also, the future value of money also change. As you can see here, if M increase, the future value of money also increase. Or we can conclude the greater the value of M, the highest the future value of money. There is the close relationship between M and the future value. The M can N is just a number. the number of compound. In other words, the number of compound will affect the future value of money. Okay, and then that's how we can conclude that we can calculate the future value of money based on the compound interest with different value of m. Okay, I hope you can please review example 2.5, 2.6 to help you. I hope these two example can help you to improve your understanding about this topic. Okay, now we have the next one is about the effective rate of interest. Okay, before I continue to this part, okay, I think I want to take a break for 10 minutes, and then after break, we will continue on this topic section 2.5. Or any question before we take a break? Okay, can we take a break for 10 minutes? Please respond.
Okay.
Okay, we take a break for 10 minutes. Kita rehat 10 minit dulu, and then we continue on 4:10 p.m. 10 plus 4. Okay, take a break for 10 minutes.